Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. Just like the title says, I've got a couple of updates I want to show you as far as the 47 RE build. If you guys have not saw any of the videos, I put a link right up here for the entire playlist that I've done thus far. I'm going to go through, I got 3 updates I believe I want to show you that I want to go through and change really fast and show you the changes I'm going to be making. The first one we're going to be doing is an intermediate shaft change. The next one is going to be a forward and input shaft change, and also I'm going to show you something on the overdrive as far as measurements, and then also we're going to show you how I accomplished my clearance on the forward direct. So right now we're going to get the intermediate shaft change first, since I have that set up right there. Once again, that's just a bearing puller, and then I'm using my clamps and I have it set right there like that on my weld table. Alright, so I already have the snap ring off. One thing I found in the ATSG book, they show putting a thrust washer down in this lower primary section. Your lower ring gear and then this first set of planetaries, they show putting a thrust washer in there. In reality, that is for the 48. So if you're doing a 47 build, this thrust spacer it's a hardened washer. This is what's going to go in there. So first I want to go ahead and get that replaced. And that is right in here is what I'm talking about. So as you can see, we put in the thrust washer. And like I said, we're going to actually keep this is a hardened steel thrust spacer. So we're going to go ahead and drop that. And this is splined, so this will stay right in place. We're going to go ahead and drop that back in there. Go ahead and put this planetary back in. Go ahead and put our sun shell back on. And then that is all you need to do for that. And then go ahead and finish it off with your snap ring, just like that. And then you want to make sure and have the right clearance in between this hub and this first ring gear. Where I noticed the issue was when I put this together, when I did this build, I put that snap ring on there. That snap ring went on there really tight, and it was real tight as far as this sun shell and the sun gear, and I got to checking around, and that's where I noticed and found out that the thrust spacer is supposed to be in there instead of the thrust washer on the 47s. Alright, with this one complete, I'm going to go ahead and turn my attention to the direct drum. On the direct drum, if you see, one of the things that you need to do is, from the factory, this will have a wavy snap ring in it. In my kit from Fire Punk, that's going to get replaced with just a standard flat snap ring. And then you're going to ditch the wavy. So that's the first change. The second one is checking your clearance on this is difficult because of the machined lip in your top plate. So what I did to achieve that, and this was talking with another builder, a penny is 54 thousandths. So set that penny in there, set your plate back in there, and you should be able to get your snap ring in place. Just like that. And then you want minimal play. And you got to remember, these clutches are soaked in oil, so they have expanded just a little bit. So right there is my 54 thousandths that I want on the direct. And just go ahead and pull it back apart. And pull your pennies out of there. So remember, and always get rid of the wavy snap ring and put a flat snap ring in it. So that takes care of the direct. All right, next up we're going to, I'm going to show you some different things as far as the overdrive extension housing. Now if you remember, I told you guys about a video I watched that Garen has on there, and that is taking your factory spacer that came in it, or your spacer that was in it, putting your thrust bearing in there, and then going ahead and putting your apply piston in place. And then what you do is you measure down from the top of the apply piston down to the first steel, get that measurement, and then you take and get the thickness of your apply piston and subtract those two, and then that will give you your clearance right there. And Garen said that would need anywhere from 100 thousandths to 150 thousandths, and we were at 125 thousandths, so that's pretty much right on, you know, smack dab in the middle of what they said. So I started doing some messing around, and in the ATSG book, that 6311 tool that you need to use is 500 thousandths thick, and I have this pry bar right here that measures 500 thousandths thick. So I'm able to set this on here, and I have it setting up off the output shaft so there's not a false reading. And then you want to measure down in 4 places. Just like that. And then add all those together and divide by 4, and that'll give you your measurement. And I've already done it, and mine was 184.2. So therefore that means I need a 0.68 to a 0.70 shim according to the ATSG book, and my shim measures 195. So I don't know which one is off, if Garen is off or if the ATSG book's off, but according to doing it this way, this is about 25 thousandths too thick. So I'm going to explore trying to find a 170 shim to put in this and take care of it that way. I feel more comfortable going with the ATSG book than going off of, I shouldn't say this, than going off Garen's YouTube video, but it's just what I'm comfortable doing. So I'm going to get with some of my local transmission shops and find a 170 shim to put in here. And also I've already got one picked out. I'm going to go out and see him. He has the tool to slide in here to be able to change and check your input shaft shim too, that is right on the end, just on the back side of the spline there. So I'll be able to measure and get that dimension also. Alright, the last thing we're going to take care of is this input shaft. I showed you guys this a while back. I don't like that at all, and after talking with a few people, yeah, that's not good. So I'm going to go ahead. I bought a brand new billet Belleville spring from Power Driven Diesel. This is a kit that they have on their website that you guys can buy. This is the billet Belleville spring right here. It comes with a different clutch for spacing at the end. It comes with a steel spacer instead of the factory plastic spacer. And then also I went with a 074 spring on the back side just to make sure we have proper clearance. So we're going to go ahead and get this set up, get that all taken care of, see if we can't get rid of that slop. First we want to pull the snap ring out, take the backing plate out, and then we can go ahead and pull the backing plate and all the clutches out. Then we're going to take this wavy snap ring out. And go ahead and pull the factory spacer out and the factory Belleville spring. We'll go ahead and put the new Belleville spring in. The new spacer. And the original wavy snap ring. You can see right there, there is no movement at all anymore. So this Belleville spring must be pretty worn. So we're gonna go ahead and throw that in the junk pile. That took all that slop and all that play out of there. Now we can go ahead and put our clutch back inside here. Make sure we have proper tolerance. If not, they sent a different steel. That way we can play with it and make sure we get the correct tolerance in our clutches. All right, within setting the clearance in these clutches, I did go ahead and use the steel that they sent, and then also I used the thinner snap ring, and that set me right at 25 thousandths on my my forward clutches. That's set just a little bit tight, but there again, they're soaked in oil, so I want them just a little bit tight. When the pressure gets put on it, it is going to smash them down just a little bit more. So this is set up and ready to go back in the transmission now. Also, if it's still loose, there is another thing that you can do also. This apply piston, they make thicker apply pistons. The reason you don't want that to come out is you don't want to get past those lip seals. I've heard of people talking about these Belleville springs actually been turned wrong side out just because of the line pressure, and if it goes out too far, it's trash these clutches and trash your transmission. So right now I think I've got everything set pretty good the way I want it. It's nice and tight. If you remember right, when we first started this, I could move this and wiggle this around. Now it doesn't move at all, so that's exactly what I want. All right, pretty much the last thing I have for you tonight. I want to show you what oil I've decided to go with. Like I said in the past, Hot Shots is not available yet, and they have no idea when it's going to be available for the 47 RE. So I've decided to go with the next best thing, and that is Power Driven Diesel's Power Torque ATF. I've used a few of Power Driven Diesel's items in the past and had very, very good luck with them. The Belleville spring we just put in the forward drum is from Power Driven Diesel. So, and I'm really happy with everything I've used of theirs in the past. So we're going to go ahead and top this off and fill the transmission up with their fluid. Other than that, I think that's pretty much all I have. Stay tuned tomorrow. I hope to start doing final assembly on the transmission housing. At least get the main case put together, and then we'll turn our attention and get the extension housing put on. Don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. And then the last thing we'll have to do is do the valve body. So that's my next hurdle I got to kind of jump over. I've done all this. The valve body is my next demon that I've got to conquer. Kind of worried about that, but you know what? It's only parts, and if you break them, you can fix them. So anyway, guys, if you don't mind, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll talk to you guys later on.